Oopsies, it's me, Tony Bomboni ASMR. Welcome back to your session. So, before this begins, tap the bell and subscribe if you haven't yet, and turn on all notifications so you can receive my uploads. And check my website, please, tonybomboni.com, to book your own services from me. I do Reiki, Tarot, custom ASMR videos, coffee cup, and candle wax readings, as well as OnlyFans, Patreon, Cameo, and ASMR albums. Thank you guys. Alright, so this is a special, meaningful video, and I just decided to spontaneously produce this lovely morning. I just got done listening to Joyce Meyer. I've been listening to a lot of inspiration every morning. I feel like when I wake up, and maybe this is the case for everyone, we often feel different feelings. It's like when you hit a reset button and you start a new day. You want to start it right. So lately, and by lately I mean really the past few months, I've been listening to a lot of motivation and inspiration, and part of that motivation and inspiration has taught me to journal more. And I used to journal when I was younger, and it truly did help me on my journey. Get it? Journey. At least that's how I like to remember it. And this time it was something different. Every therapist will recommend you to journal your thoughts, but no one recommends journaling your time with God or yourself. If you're not a particular person of faith, that's okay. But I do like to think this does work with your unconscious mind, whether you are hearing from the voice of the universe, of God, it's still you talking with a journal, with yourself, or with a higher power, so to speak. So I feel like people could get the same benefits if they just try to sit down with a journal and just simply write their thoughts. It doesn't even have to be directed to anyone. So I wanted to kind of demonstrate that today, or at least show them an example of how I do that just for relaxation. I thought this would make a nice video. So I have several pencils and pens here in the corner in case I run out of ink, or I'm just going to switch it up just for different sounds. And I have this garden basil and thyme candle I'm going to light up. It smells amazing, and I thought it would just be perfect and cozy in the corner while I journal and you guys follow along. And I want to see what messages the higher powers have to say today. For you guys especially. What do they have to tell you? I'm just curious. So that's another reason for this video. So enjoy. You can hear the candle crackling. It's the wick is burning, just starting up. I'm feeling really healed and energized. I just got done doing a couple Reikis this morning. I'm up since 4 in the morning, and a lot of times I have to wake up This is a funny story, so there's a reason. It says this, and can I just take the time to really admire this journal? It's so pretty. My mom got it for me for my birthday, and I didn't think much of it at first, to be honest. But I'm really grateful. I'm blessed to have received this, actually. It was just perfect for my intention. The lemons are so cheerful. I even showed this on my vlog channel, and I talked about how I talk to God sometimes. And so we can all talk to God. It's not one person talking to just him. I like to imagine him as like a bunch of fractals. So he's there at the same time for everyone. So everyone can always access or tap into that source of energy. And I come from a spiritual place, don't get me wrong. That part of me will always be there, but now I have sort of a deeper understanding, or a more meaningful, at least for me, understanding of how things work. And I'm not saying neither my way is right or wrong. I will never promote or preach that. Because like I said, I at one point didn't even believe in the spirit realm, the spirit world. So I still am open-minded to everything that is. That's just who I am. I'm a neutral person. I have neither this belief nor that. I just am. I like to try new things from time to time, but lately this has been something really special for me and meaningful. So I think I'm going to continue and grow my relationship with God. So again, just consider relaxation if you don't believe, because I don't like either when like I listen to someone talking about these subjects and they feel like pressuring, or that they're the only way, or they're the only right way, and I never want to encourage or promote that ever on this channel. I'm just sharing what I do, like as part of my morning routine. So I just got done journaling for the day. So actually I wanted to explain this. I wrote on the front, to Tony, because that was the journal for me, and then from God. So I thought, okay, this will be like my God journal. And the front, actually, I forgot to mention, says, as you saw, it is well with my soul. So I thought, oh my goodness, this is perfect. And I just love the brassy bronze color of these fringes, and they're durable and strong. And the glossy sheets. I love the texture. Material it's made out of. And it smells good. You know I love smelling. You know I love smelling the pages. And then I dated it 1/1/21 because I wanted to start off the new year with the new journal. Just right. So, and then I started the first day on the 2nd. So let's see here. Let's flip to a blank page. Okay, I'm going to flip to this one. It's okay if you see this, because like I said, I journaled, or I vlogged about this. I mean, about my journal on my vlog channel, youtube.com/TonyBomboni. And it's okay if I show this. Some of the things are private that I didn't share, but this was the last thing he told me today. And this is what I heard. So, like, basically how this works, again, just my technique. I'm not saying I'm right in any way. This is just what I do. That it's like self-help therapy for me. But I do recommend it, you know. I encourage it, certainly. It's peaceful. And it's just like working on yourself and your deep, dark problems, insecurities. So basically I like to talk as if I'm on the phone with him. And that brings me comfort and security. Again, maybe you could just talk to yourself or whatever you want to do, right? Talk to your ancestors. You can set up an ancestor altar. Lately I've been doing some tarot readings, and people have been coming to me with like ancestor energy, like people who have passed on, and I've been getting a lot of readings like that lately, and connecting and conversing with those spirits in the spirit realm. And so it's very fascinating how you can actually channel old ancestor energy, and like you could put a picture of your grandmother who has passed on, some of her favorite scents like flowers or herbs, and you can actually communicate with them in that way. Just set up a special corner or place or table where you can do that, right? Where it's peaceful. You light a light scented fragrant candle like this, or just unscented. Nothing too strong, not to disturb anyone. But yeah, so you can do whatever really. And my journal time just happens to be with God. It used to be with myself. I felt like a sense of loneliness, if I'm honest. So it just helps me to visualize myself speaking with him, which is not difficult because he's always there in my eyes and my heart. And so that brings me comfort and knowing I'm not alone. And so far, so good. It's gotten me through a lot of problems and deep-rooted issues that even, honestly, a therapist could never solve for me. A psychologist, a motivational speaker, no one. Not even myself. No family, no friend, It's someone that just gives you that one or two words that is so priceless that you take with you. So right here it says, know your value, know your worth. So would you look at that? I think it was actually meant to be that he said that as the last sentence, because I think that was the message for you. And I'm going to write that down because you have to write in detail as well. The message. I just feel it like it's a feeling. I just feel this was the message for you. Even if I'm not hearing him. Usually I hear him talk to me, but I feel like this is the message for you. The message for my angel. Oopsies. I'm going to write that down. And again, you write as much detail as possible so you don't forget what it was about, right? So like, for example, if at any time during our journaling today, I want to mark down today's date, the 8th of February, 2021. I always write the date on the top so I refer back and remember. And I like to read back old journals as well. And it's like reading through a Bible of your own work, but his work as well. And it's like, how awesome it is to go into like a therapy office and then take notes and then like take that home with you, or go to a conference and hear some inspiration and write down what they said and read it back. And there's something so magnificent about it. That's so healing. The power of the pen, as they say, when you write something down, it just brings so much peace, so much understanding, and courage in yourself. And reading and writing, there's a reason we studied it in school. It is crucial for our higher wisdom. It just is. And so like, I know it's like reading, writing, some people don't want to do that. It's like we did years of that in school. I get it. But there's just something that is so powerful about it. I can't even describe it myself, to be honest with you. It's just beneficial. That's all I know. So, for example, I'm getting to my point now. If he were to say like the word love in response to a question I had, like, how can I get over my ex-boyfriend? Then so when I write love, I want to write like in parentheses or something like getting over the ex or something. so I remember and refer back to. So that's kind of my style. That's kind of how I do this journaling exercise, okay? So let's begin. I just want to start off by saying hi. Hi, God. Calling you now to communicate with me through my poopsies. And any voice, any message, any image, any sign, anything that my poopsies hear while listening to this, watching this YouTube video right now, that's the message from him to them. So trust, you guys. Even if you're not vibing with something I'm writing here or saying or doing, if you just hear something and you're like, was that him? Or like, was that my own thoughts? Like, maybe pull out your own journal while watching this, or just keep it to yourself and your own thoughts is fine, I guess. But write down what really stuck out to you out of this, so I'm going to channel him to channel through my poopsies as well. Immediately I got the word hello, like he's saying hello, so normally I wouldn't write something like that. Like normally I write just something that would be valid to me or my understanding or if I wrote down everything he said, I'd already fill out this journal, So I'm just going to do it just for the sake of this video and sounds, but I also feel it's important to do as part of this, so. And I always put in quotation marks whenever he's speaking, and then I put just my own text without quotation marks when it's me that has something to say. So that helps me know, okay, that was him, that was me, that was him, that was me, in the dialogue, And it's not scripted, it's not word for word. Sometimes he says a lot. So, dear God, what message do you have for my poopsies today? Just tell me anything you want me to tell them. And allow your own wisdom to enter their minds as well, so that they may receive the benefits of your love and kindness, healing, and Holy Spirit. Thank you, God. We love you, God. I heard the word acceptance, and I never use a candle during my journal time. I'm literally doing this for relaxation for you guys, okay? It's good to have a candle, though. That was another point I was going to make, because it does something. It just reminds you to tune in or focus or be at peace. It's relaxing to look at the flames as well. So do what you feel best. I personally don't. Sometimes I do, maybe on special occasions or it's a holiday or something. But acceptance, so I'm going to write down in quotes, acceptance. Honestly, my intuition tells me that he's trying to say that some of you need to be more accepting, or some of you need to be more accepting of a certain circumstance that goes on in your life. But if you don't know, if you're not sure, you're not that in tune with the intuition, sometimes I could be wrong as well. I use my intuition for my Reiki healing, my tarot readings, but my coffee cup candle wax readings. But you can always ask, dear God, what do you mean by acceptance? What are you trying to tell my poopsie angels? Okay, so I got love and compassion. So yeah, he's trying to say loving compassion, be more loving, be more compassionate, be more kind and caring to everyone, be more accepting, so we can write that down as well. Loving compassion. To be more compassionate. Okay, let's switch to the pencil now. You know what I can do? Instead of having to draw quotes every time, the black ink will be gone, and then the pencil will be me, okay? words are solid, the final word, the permanent word. Mine is not. He's the teacher, I'm the learner. He's the ultimate educator, I'm the student. Alright, so let's see what else. All of a sudden, I'm just drawn to ask the question, dear God, how can I how can I touch the lives of my poopsies watching at home? How can I reach in and touch their hearts in a way today? Of course he would say that. He said that to me before. He's saying being yourself. Okay, I'll take it. Sometimes some things that are said are, not that this is hard to hear, but some things can be stern. Some things you'll hear that you don't want to hear. And again, your own thoughts will kind of be conflicting with yourself. Like, is that really what Spirit said? Or, so you gotta really trust. But I'm just gonna write it. Again, I don't normally write it in this format, but I'm just doing it because it gives me more to write. Okay. I'm gonna try writing like bigger elephant letters so you can see. I'd watch this in full screen on your computer if you can't see. Or just listen and relax and close your eyes. Poopsies. How can I reach the lives of my poopsie subscribers? Make impact and touch their hearts today. So he said in response to that dialogue, be yourself. So I guess just existing then. Just being who I am. And I did need to hear that truly at one point or another. And perhaps there's a reason he's telling me that to this day, because sometimes you watch other people live their lives and they make such a deep impact on you that you forget who you are. Does that make sense? So sometimes just being okay with being yourself, loving yourself, is the right way to go. So in order for me to give acceptance, this is how I'm interpreting his word. And this is kind of what you do. You do after that dialogue, you do self-analysis. So you say, okay, now I'm connecting it back to what was originally brought up to me in my awareness. And how can I integrate this into this? So, or how can I integrate this into this? So, well, it goes both ways. So, me being myself is also accepting myself, loving myself, having compassion for myself. Does that make sense? So these kind of, sometimes you want to like draw arrows in your journal as well, and like self-help therapy, like I said. So this kind of connects and links with each other. So now, oh, I got a new sense of understanding about who I am as a person today. So it's the same principle with therapy. I pretty much understand what it means. I have a whole degree in hypnotherapy, so it's just, it makes sense. You integrate that love and acceptance and compassionate understanding, and then you have that forgiveness, and then you you do this every day, every morning, and the days get better and better. There's always going to be something to work on, though, and it gets advanced, just like with education. Life will advance, you will advance, and you'll have to progress and teach yourself more things along the way. But that's just how I do it, how I strategize it. And I don't overthink it sometimes, honestly. He'll tell me something, I'll be like, huh? I'll be like dumb blonde girl here, like, huh? Like clueless. But then it makes sense literally a day later or more sometimes, and sometimes it never makes sense. And it's just for another time. And he'll never tell you something that you're not evolved yet to hear or understand, or something that's too painful to hear in a certain moment. It'll be painful sometimes, but not too much to where you can't take it. Like yesterday, I'll be honest with you guys, I actually want to bring that up with him now, and I'm being called to bring it up. I read some, well, let's just say ignorant statement in a book about faith the other day, and it disturbed me in my peace. Like, my day was starting off great, I was listening to the Word of God, and I was just getting started with my day. It was raining outside and I was at peace, and all of a sudden I read this one blatant lie and ignorant statement in the book. I was like, what is this trying to tell me? And it disturbed me so much. I actually spoke with him about it this morning, and I'm actually going to keep asking questions because I thought of it, so I want to speak it. This is our moment now. We're in a state of awareness right now, you watching me performing, that we have this awareness, we bring it up. So maybe you perhaps went through something where you saw or read something disturbing, like I did yesterday morning, that just ruined my day. And I'm a Virgo. Virgos, oh, honey child, it takes us forever to get over something, okay? But anyway, that must be my Scorpio rising and Capricorn moon. But regardless, my point being, nothing to do with astrology, but my whole day was ruined, and thank goodness for two really great friends who gave me solid statements and their own testimony and advice about what I said, and also an ASMR artist. I didn't speak with them about it, but their video helped me. But anyway, my point being is, sometimes you, without even reaching out, you get the help you need in that moment, and he reaches his hand, and the more you talk with him, the more he helps you in your life. And that's at least how I build my faith and continue to do so. Still learning every day something new. It's going to be a lifelong process, a lifelong journey. It never ends. So you're never going to be graduated with a degree in faith. It's just impossible. There's always the next step and the next level. It's never enough. No matter how many books you read, no matter how much faith building, you can listen to Joel Osteen all you want, honey, but it's never going to end. And that's in itself faith and commitment. Your faith never ends, right? It's eternal, like your soul. So anyway, I could talk about this stuff all day. Maybe I should minister. Y'all gonna donate to my ministry or what? No, I'm joking. Well, you never know. Someday, maybe, if you're interested. But regardless, poopsies, I do want to say that I'm getting to my point. So let's ask God here the question. Let's reach out and ask about. Let me write it down while I ask. I needed a moment to pause this video and really think about my question seriously. What would be the best advice you could provide us for any disturbance similarities. I think he kind of implied that, like, sometimes I hear double-ended meanings or double words. He's saying, like, a lot at once. But technique and tactic, I can honestly integrate together, but I'll ask anyway, is trying to tell me that your method, like your methodology of figuring out a problem, right? So, dear God, what do you mean by tactic and technique? Are they one and the same? I'm getting a no. Not really. So, what do you mean by tactic and technique, dear God? And I always say dear God when I talk to him out of respect for just personal choice. That's how we communicate. Tactic and technique, what do you mean? What are the individual interpretations? Starting with tactic. You know what, you want to take your time one at a time, not to get overwhelmed or like make a clear explanation. I'm telling you this, you're watching at home, that you when you do this, you want to say one at a time. You don't just want to ask 5 questions, because you're going to get mixed answers and you're going to be confused, you know. One question at a time. So what do you mean by tactic, dear God? Oh, he said teaching. Okay, alright, teaching in parenthesis. Teaching, so teaching what exactly? What do you imply, dear God? Okay, he said teaching you, so teaching me. But you mean you teaching me? He said the teaching of your beliefs. Teaching of your beliefs. What would be the best advice you could provide us for any disturbance? It feels like doing homework sometimes, like you really gotta pull it out. What would be the best advice you could provide us for any disturbance in our lives? Tactic, teaching of your beliefs. Okay, I think I get it. It makes sense, but I don't know how to explain it to you guys watching at home. I get it. You know what? I'll just let it settle. Whatever the meaning is for you, I'll let it settle for you. If it doesn't make sense, it's not the message for you, and we can move on. Just like a candle wax reading, just like a coffee cup reading, a tarot reading. If the message is not for you, we could just move on. I think someone just, you know what? It doesn't make sense for me, honestly, but I think it's a message for some people watching at home. So maybe I need to move on. I need to move on. That's my feeling. It's just for some of you, not for me. Technique. So, dear God, what do you mean by technique now? Okay, I'm getting the word tactical solutions, but isn't tactic in the word tactical? What do you imply? You said they're not the same thing. Okay, you said they're one and the same, but different meanings. Okay, whatever that means to, I don't even remember tactical. What did I say? Tactical teachings. Yeah, and the word teaching is right there too. I don't know. This is starting to get confusing for me, if I'm honest. So if you have a disturbance, use a strategic mode of someone's teachings to get through it. That's my impression. What about tasks? What do you mean by tasks? I didn't think it would get this advanced, honestly. And when you speak, you can't hear the words, so you have to sometimes silence yourself. Like, do less talking, do more listening during your journal time, honestly. And sometimes you could just you don't even have to say it out loud. I recommend it. But you can just kind of feel or meditate while you journal and just do whatever it is you want to do. Lay out some crystals and just do your own thing, right? Sometimes you just need time to sit and think. What do you mean by tasks, dear God? Wow, he said creating something out of nothing. That has double-ended meanings, so I'm going to write that down. So that could either mean we are creating a disturbance in our own mind out of nothing. There's no reason to have a disturbance or a fear. But also, you creating something out of nothing, meaning making a new project, working on a new art project or something. Out of nothing, like first it starts off as nothing, but then you create it, right? So that could have double meaning. And God, what do you mean with time? Give yourself the space, freedom, and courage to move on. That's what he said. Okay, I think that's gonna conclude our session. We got plenty in that. I usually just like to fill out one whole entire page. I know it looks like nothing, but we pretty much did a lot of thinking, so I like to take between 5 and 15 minutes every morning to do it. And I do things in the morning because if you make an excuse and wait until after work to get things done, it'll never happen. You eat dinner, you watch a YouTube video, you fall asleep, end of day. Next day starts, you make the same mistake and excuse again, and you live your life delaying and procrastinating. So you gotta get this stuff done first thing in the morning. In how you start your day is how your day goes. So after I'm done talking to him, I say thank you and I review back everything. It's like doing your homework. You write it and then you review to make sure it's done, and then you close the book. So then I say hello word for word. I heard hello, acceptance, I have loving compassion. And that links into being yourself. To be yourself, you need to love and have compassion, accept yourself. How can I reach the lives I asked of my Poopsie subscribers, make an impact and touch their hearts today? And this was the answer. What would be the best advice you could provide us for any disturbance in our lives? Tactic, the 4 T's, technique, tasks, and time. Tactic, technique, tasks, and time. And I think he's smart. I don't think he's smart. I know he's smart. Because he knew those were tingly words as well. Tactic, technique, tasks, time, tasks, technique, tactic. Tactic is the teaching of your beliefs, whatever you interpret. Technique is the tactical teachings. Tasks, creating something out of nothing. See, he even used trigger words in the interpretations. Teaching, tactical. Time, give yourself the space, freedom, and courage to move on. So I get that is yes, you need space, you need freedom in itself. Space is having